Welcome to J is for Justice podcast. If live breaking news and following true crime is your thing, then please consider subscribing to my channel. And if you like what you see in my videos, please consider giving them a thumbs up.
Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome back to J is for Justice. My name is Jay, and I am your host. We are waiting for the press conference, so I've got it up on the screen We're watching the Long Island news, but we should be beginning shortly here in about 5 minutes or so. I'm just going to get things set up and then give you guys just a little look at those kicks. I am so tired this morning, guys, so excuse me and my rough voice. I feel like I shouldn't even be talking. All right, so we've got that, and then I'm going to tell you guys what's going on so we don't miss anything. So this is supposed to be about the Asian doe victim. Crazy cat. We are News 12 Live, right? That's where we are. Makita. Hey, Cheech. Hey, Ryan. Hey, Nash. I'm not through my first cup of coffee, but I'm here bouncing with you in titanium. Is she covering this too this morning? Get your coffee. Good morning, Trixie. Olive, Angie B. Sin. Captain Ganja, we all pulled a late nighter. Olive. Sherry, good morning. Jammers, this is early for you. Damn. Jammers is dedicated. We had a long stream yesterday. My throat is sore. Been talking too much. Crazy cat lady. Yes, usually on Wednesdays we do. Wednesdays at 7 p.m. My schedule's been a little off with Sebastian's case. It's been a lot. Some TikTok person that is an RN supposedly called Seth's work. For what? I know. I hope they tell us who this person was, right? Okay, so Gilgo Beach murders update. New details about the unidentified Asian doe to be revealed in this press conference. The DA, Raymond Tierney, told Newsday that a new sketch will be released of the unidentified Asian male whose skeletal remains were uncovered along Ocean Parkway in April of 2011. We're hoping to disseminate them in the Asian community, and we're hoping maybe someone will remember a person who looked like him that disappeared in the time frame he died. Wow. So Asian doe is one of 11 victims whose remains were found along Gilgo Beach. Hey, Jamie from Long Island. So far, Rex Heuermann has been charged with five of the 11, including 4 female sex workers known as the Gilgo Four. He's also charged with a 6th victim, Sandra Castilla, whose body was found in another area in 93, and he has pleaded not guilty. Oh, wow. So they did a study of this Asian doe's skull, and they were able to further determine what he looked like. So that's what they're going to release this morning. Newly rendered images and information about an unidentified male victim will be published Monday morning. District Attorney Ray Tierney said that forensic anthropologists have studied the skull of the victim, known as Asian doe, to render new images of what they might have looked like at the time of their death. He said, "We're trying to be scientific about it. They start with the skull, the way his brow is shaped, the way his chin is shaped, the nasal cavity, and then they can approximate what he would have looked like with flesh and skin." The DA hopes to disseminate the newly rendered images out to the Asian community in a bid to help identify the male. And this is 13 years after there's only been a basic sketch released. Applauding the Gilgo Beach Task Force for going above and beyond, right? How amazing is that? I know we still have peaches and baby dough. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, retired EMT and September. I've missed our soundboard. So that's nuts. But I mean, I think that's awesome that, they've done all this to identify this man after all this time. So you guys, the actual sketch, let me show you. So freaking basic. Well, here it is. Hang on. So, oh wow, this is going to be really crazy. I can't wait to see what they've done, actually. There's the basic sketch. And now we're going to have like another rendition of what this person looked like in life. I'm going to keep this here. Let's go like this. I want to see this compared to what they bring out today. You know what I mean? To see how far we've come. I mean, I've seen them do that on shows where they do like a rendition. Hold on a second. Get rid of that. Okay. Let's go back down here. Dun da da. Perfect. It is 10 o'clock on the nose. I'm thinking maybe after this commercial, we may be live. I don't know. We shall see. Thank you for joining. If you haven't hit that like button, now is a good time to do so. Here we go. Let's unmute this shiz.
We need to provide answers to the families of murder victims. So today we're asking for the public's help in identifying an individual who has been known as Asian Doe. They were found on Ocean Parkway near Gilgo Beach in 2011, and despite our best efforts, this person still remains nameless. And by nameless, I mean to us, to members of the task force. This person certainly had a life and loved ones and friends who knew them by their name. And it's important that this victim get their name back, and just as importantly, the people who cared for this individual get answers. So we are hopeful that with this new information and the community's assistance, we will be able to identify Asian Doe and bring a resolution to the case. Before I get into the meat of the press conference, I just want to thank the task force members who are here. Obviously, my team, Chief Investigator Rich Zacharis, and our ADAs and investigators and analysts. We have NCMEC, which is the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. I want to thank them for their assistance. They're not present at the press conference, but as you'll see, they were integral in with their assistance in this case. In this instance, we also have our partners from the Suffolk County PD, Commissioner Rob Waring. Actually, Rob Waring's to my left, he's sneaky. Chief of Detectives Daryl Simmons, as well as Deputy Inspector Sean Barron and their team of investigators. We have the Suffolk County Sheriff's Office. We have the New York State Police, led by Lieutenant St. Drew, and you're going to hear from Lieutenant St. Drew in a moment. We also have the FBI and their team. We thank them for their assistance. We have Senior Supervising Resident Agent Don Ospacker and some investigators on the Gilgo Task Force. We thank them for their assistance and for their presence. The Secret Service, we want to thank them for their help. They're not present at this this press conference, but they've been helping with the electronic evidence. We also have received, in this instance, assistance from the New York City Police Department, who are not here. But again, we want to help. Thank the NYPD for helping us gain access to the significant Asian population in the city. Now, before I get into that new information, I just want to discuss with you all where you can find the visuals that have been provided to my left. The new information and visuals provided here today will be provided to the press. They will be posted on NCMEC's website and their Help ID Me Facebook page. And again, this is a place where members of the public can go and look at pictures and information concerning missing victims of crime and provide law enforcement with information. There's also a VICAP public webpage and law enforcement repository. VICAP is the Violent Criminal Apprehension Bureau, and that is run by the FBI, and so you could go on their website, provide information, learn information, and of course it is available right now on my website, the District Attorney's website, as well as our social media. And this information includes updated forensic reconstruction images of Asian Doe, which were provided by NCMEC, descriptions of the clothing of the victim, which he was wearing at the time of death, a picture of the various clothing labels of the clothes that were worn, new genealogical data, as well as information as to the victim's age, height, and gender identity information. Now, with regard to the initial investigation in this case, the remains of Asian Doe were discovered on April 4th, 2011. They were found, the skeletal remains were found on Ocean Parkway near Gilgo Beach in New York, I believe found in between, just closest to Megan Waterman. The initial examination revealed the following. The victim was a biological male of Asian descent. The victim was between the ages of 17 and 23. So there he was a teenager or very young adult when the murder occurred, and he was about 5'6" tall, give or take a couple of inches either way. Unfortunately, this victim suffered a violent death. The cause of death was homicide by blunt force trauma. We know the death occurred during or prior to 2006, and that those remains were on Ocean Beach for at least 5 years before being discovered in 2011. So the actual murder occurred based on the forensic examination of the remains in 2006 or earlier. Some of this information is being released for the first time, specifically the descriptions of the clothes that Asian Doe was wearing at the time of death, and that although Asian Doe was a biological male, Asian Doe was wearing exclusively women's clothing. He was wearing a Chrysanthemum brand blue-ribbed short-sleeved shirt with a crew neck, size large. He was wearing a Raffaello brand shirt, size 10, and he was wearing a pair of women's pants and a bra, both by the brand Bill Blass. And with regard to the forensic reconstruction images, the task force was able to work with National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, NCMEC, and a forensic artist examined the victim's skull to create the facial reconstructions that you see here. And those reconstructions depict what the victim may have looked like prior to their disappearance and murder. We have two pictures of a person with short hair, one head on and one in the profile, and we have a third picture of an individual with long hair. Because the victim was wearing exclusively women's clothing at the time of death, it is possible that they identified as a woman or were known by others as being a woman. The Gilgo Beach Task Force also utilized genetic genealogy to learn more about this victim's specific ethnicity. It was previously known that this victim was of Asian descent. However, now we know that it is a strong likelihood that the victim is of Southern Chinese descent, Han Chinese descent. Han Chinese is one of the 56 officially recognized ethnicities in the People's Republic of China. This is a significant development because unfortunately South Asia is underrepresented in our genealogy databases, meaning there are not a lot of Asian profiles in the database. Therefore, investigative genetic genealogy in this instance is a challenge. It's a challenge to identify this victim, and so far it has proved to be difficult and has provided few leads. Hence, the purpose for us being here today. We're looking for the media's assistance, and we're looking for the public's assistance in helping us provide information on this victim to get this victim's name back. And I'll just come over. These are the pictures of the individual. We have a picture of Asian doe with short, as they would appear with short hair, and a picture of Asian doe as they would appear with longer hair. Now, with regard to outreach to the community, again, we've leaned on all our partners as we always do, but particularly in this instance, the New York City Police Department and the state troopers. We've asked for the NYPD's assistance in translating this flyer into Mandarin, into Cantonese, into Thai, and into Bahasa, which is an Indonesian language. And the NYPD will further assist in distributing flyers on the ground in the Asian communities across New York City. And again, as we know, there's a significant Asian population in New York City, so we thank them for their help. We've invited several Asian media outlets to be present here in the hopes that they can reach the Asian community directly and provide this information to those communities. Regarding our goals for doing this, this is a call to action. We want to enlist the public's help in trying to identify Asian doe. With regard to the translations, we hope that the public and the Asian media outlets will further assist us in translating and disseminating this information into additional Asian dialects, which will further aid in the process of identification. Again, this person had a name, this person had family, this person had friends. We're reaching out to anyone who might have known this individual to help us with that identification. Again, I would just add with regard to DNA databases, those who would like to help identify Asian doe or any other victim or missing persons in the Asian or any other community to help, you can upload your DNA to Family Tree DNA and into GEDmatch Pro and opt into law enforcement matching. Contrary to popular opinion, law enforcement doesn't have access to all DNA databases, and this identification, this IgG technology that we use, as you can see, we don't just utilize it to identify suspects, we also use it to identify victims and to provide closure to the families of missing victims. If you really want to help, please consider uploading your DNA profile into those 2 commercial databases, which allow law enforcement to access that information, but only with the consent of the consumer. Now, third, we ask that if you were around in the late 90s and early 2000s, think about the people you associated with. Think about the people you know. Did anyone of Asian descent go missing? We believe Asian doe may have been working as a sex worker around the time of their disappearance prior to 2006. We believe that they spent some time in New York City prior to their death. And we want to urge the public, don't discount someone just because you know them to be from somewhere outside of New York City. As we know, people often come to New York City for a myriad of reasons. Prior to 2006, this person had friends, possible classmates, or co-workers, and a family. Someone knows who this individual is, and we need that person or persons to contact us. So that's That's what we're asking again. With the help of the media, let's get these photos out, let's get this information out, and let's identify Asian Doe. Crime Stoppers is offering a $2,500 reward for information leading to the identification of Asian Doe. Anyone with information regarding this case or the identification of the victim is asked to contact Crime Stoppers at 1-800-220-TIPS, T-I-P-S, or via email or the mobile app on the flyer. You can do so in your native language. Translation services are available, so if you have difficulty with the English language but you have information, provide it to us in your native language and we will translate it. Again, please share this information far and wide, and let's help get this victim identified and give this victim their name back. Prior to taking questions, I'm going to turn it over to the New York State Police. We have, as I've said, we've had Lieutenant Richard St. Preux, and he is going to introduce the Mandarin translator. Thank you, Lieutenant.
Thank you. Good morning. I'm Lieutenant Richard St. Preux with the New York State Police. I cover the Bureau of Criminal Investigation. I'm introducing Trooper Shin Sung Lee, who will be translating into Mandarin.
大家早上好。今天吉尔格海滩凶杀专案组请求广大群众的帮助，来辨认一具发现于2011年11月，2011年4月4日发现的受害人遗体。受害人为亚裔男性，有可能来自于中国南方，有可能为汉族。警方认为受害人的受害时间大约在2006年或者之前。该名受害人怀疑被钝器暴力击打致死。遇害时的年龄大约在17岁到23岁之间。遗体被发现时有穿着女性服装。我们呼吁广大的华人群众能够帮助警方一起辨认这名照片中的受害人以及受害人身上的衣物残留。如果在您认识的人当中有2006年或者之前的失联人员，并且与照片上的受害人样貌相似，或者是服装相同的话，请务必与苏福克郡警察局联系。我们有提供中文服务。受害人遇害时还只是青少年，在这里我们呼吁广大的华人群众能够积极的在亲友和社区之中传播我们所提供的信息。以便我们可以早日确认这位受害人的身份信息，给受害人一个公道。谢谢大家。
Thank you, Lieutenant, and thank you, Trooper Lee. With that, I'll open it up to questions. Does anybody have any questions?
Mr. Tierney, did Rex Heuermann, was he known to search pornography websites for Asian men or women?
So, we have a bail document which details some of the internet searches done by the defendant, and some did contain searches using similar terms that you just described. Anything else?
Mr. Tierney, can you speak more about the manner of death in which this victim was discovered?
So yeah, it's a violent death, blunt force trauma, which led to the individual's death. So this was a violent assault resulting in the defendant's death. No, we don't have anyone there, but basically what it is the forensic anthropologists, forensic artists, they start at the skull, and then using the characteristics of the skull, they essentially create, and using their training, of course, they create the diagram of the individual. So we believe this is the most accurate possible depiction of the victim. That was the language that the trooper, I'm sorry, Mandarin. Yeah. Yes.
Was there good DNA preserved at the crime scene, from prior to 2006? That's many years that the victim was there, Asian Doe.
Yeah.
Is there DNA you can work with that maybe could tie this victim to?
I mean, I think you never say never. We've seen the the way that the DNA technology has evolved. So we do have DNA, and so we're working with it.
Were there similar?
I'll get to you in a second.
DA, how rare is it for somebody not to be identified for such a long period of time that no one has come forward and said they think that it's your career? How rare is that?
It's not unheard of, especially when you're talking about a crime of this nature, and when you're talking about a community that's an immigrant community that tends to be insular. So again, we think a lot of times, and again, this person we believe was brought from outside the jurisdiction into the jurisdiction. So when you combine all those things, it's not that unusual. So what we want to do is we want to make sure that we send out the information far and wide, not just to Suffolk County, not just to New York, but across the country and across the world. Yeah, I'm sorry, Greg.
Were there any similarities in the way that this body was disposed of with those that were left nearby? And are you considering Rex Heuermann a suspect in this case?
So if you look at where it was situated, I think it was about 300 or so feet from Megan Waterman in that same stretch of Parkway. So it was between Megan Waterman and Jessica Taylor. And as we've said all along, each one of these victims, it's a separate crime scene. Start from that separate crime scene, and you work your way up, which we're doing. And it's all nice to speculate, but it basically doesn't matter until you can bring charges, and we're certainly not at that stage.
Is there any similarities in the way that the body was found?
Well, I think probably what you're referencing is specifically with regard to the Gilgo 4. Those were uniquely, they were almost identical, and they're unique from the other bodies.
Was there other DNA evidence found with this victim that you don't believe belonged to this victim?
There's always evidence at the scene, and we're analyzing that evidence, and if it bears fruit and results in charges, we'll talk about it at that time.
Mr. Tierney, when you talked about how this victim was found wearing clothing, and you talked about the other victims that go before, was there any other material, not burlap, but anything else, a sheet, a pillowcase, anything at all that was found?
I'm not entirely certain. I know specifically that this victim was clad in the clothes that we've described.
You've been watching live as Suffolk District Attorney Ray Tierney reveals new details about one of the Gilgo Beach murder victims, the victim known as Asian Doe. That was a body and remains that were found in 2011
I guess since they're
along
cutting in,
Ocean
I'll cut
Parkway.
in. This is some disgusting stuff, right? These match Rex Heuermann's search. And this guy's, look at this guy's hair. Yeah, it's awful. I know. Welcome, Shelly. They're taking a break. We ain't got time for that. The fuck? Why? Really, Long Island? Long Island TV can't do better than this on YouTube? Fucking kidding me? Well, that is janky. They can't even stay commercial free for the Gilgo update? The freak. Is it still on? That shit pisses me off, man. Right in the middle of it.
Well,
Oh, horrible audio.
I would just ask that you look at the bail document, because we have a number of searches with regard to searches that could arguably be related to this victim, as well as the Gilgo Beach investigation.
Thank you, Flo. 5 new members coming in hot.
Sure. Well, it's the public, and some, I think when you talk about, immigrant communities from outside of Suffolk County and a body found inside Suffolk County in general, you wouldn't be all that surprised in having difficulty to identify this particular victim, and then there are all those other factors as well. So not completely unsurprising that we've not been able to identify the victim, but the most important thing is that we identified that victim regardless of the outcome of any criminal case, just to provide that victim and their family with, give the victim his or her name back and provide the family with closure.
You said that you believe this person may have spent time in New York City before their death. What is that belief based on?
It's based upon our investigation, which I'm not going to get into.
Why now? Why are we doing this? Because the forensic anthropologist just needs these renderings and haven't for a while. What's the timeline?
Yeah, these were done through NCMEC, and that was a fairly involved process. We really appreciate their assistance. Obviously, it's a painstaking process, and it took some time. So, once we had the information available and also the DNA, the specific genealogy of DNA, we wanted to provide it to the public because we think it'll help the investigation and help to identify this individual. Okay, thank you all so much. Thanks for coming.
Oh, they were wrapping up anyhow. Hopefully they're going to zoom in on these posters. I want to see them again. I can't with the photo ops. So cheesy. It's so cheesy. Point at the poster. He's like, I can't. Okay, don't show the posters. Just, what idiots. Why wouldn't they zoom in on the damn posters? God, sometimes that drives me crazy. Point at the poster. Hey, Black Eagle, good morning, darling. Good morning. So that was the press conference, but I wanted to tell you guys, let's close this. I wanted to read you guys some of these damn searches. No, I don't want to read them. But I wanted to tell you, listen. Is there a date with this? So Rex Heuermann searched up all these nasty terms, including that Asian twink tied up prawn, right? But it doesn't give a date when he searched it. I was hoping it would give a date because if you can put the date he was searching around the time that this man went, or teen or whatever went, disappeared. But how fucking sad that he wasn't reported missing. Like nobody was missing that teenager. It's really sad. I'm trying to find the new information, but it doesn't seem to be posted yet. So, all right, guys, I'm going to wrap this one up. Thank you for being here and watching this important update. As always, we will continue to follow this crazy case. Crazy cat lady, they're gross. I can't. I'll post them in my community and you can read them, all right? Because they're really nasty. Like if I say them, YouTube won't like me. They're that bad. I'm going to post them in the community, though, as soon as we get off here. And until then, I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you for being here this morning. Hope you guys have a wonderful Monday. All right, we'll see you. Let's roll our credits. And thank you so much for your donation of memberships. Becoming a member. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.
so much for watching. If you enjoyed this live stream or video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on my latest content. Want to take it a step further?
Bring it all in.
And join our community clickers by becoming a Patreon or a YouTube member. You'll get exclusive access to our Discord server, special channel perks, and much more. Until then, I'll see you in the next one.
Click, 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 click. It's real easy, man.
I don't give a damn. I don't really care about you and your problems. I don't give a damn. You talk way too much. I have heard enough about you and your problems. I don't give a damn. 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 I don't give a damn.
Why are people such idiots?
You wanna be with me. You wanna feel something real, but I'm feeling differently. You're making plans to get to France, but don't wanna face the fact that I ain't got time, I ain't got time, I ain't got time for that. Staying up late, sleeping all day, dreaming about Cadillacs. Buying new shoes, hanging by the pool, sipping on Coke and Jack. Calling my phone when you feel alone, but I'll never call you back. 'Cause I ain't got time, I ain't got time, I ain't got time for that. I don't give a damn, I don't really care about you and your problems. I don't give a damn. You talk way too much. I have heard enough about you and your problems. I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn. I don't give a You're mad at me for not giving you comfort. I don't like you. You say that I'm away so much, and now you don't feel the way you felt when we were younger. But that's okay for me, 'cause I don't give a damn. I don't really care about you and your problems. I don't give a damn. You talk way too much. I have heard enough about you and your problems. I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn.
Thanks so much, Jennifer.
Coming in hot.
Just like the Beatles.
Thanks so much, Jennifer.
Bye, Jennifer.